is Do You Hear Me? With Uniqo Williams. That's right, it's your boy coming at you on a Wednesday. I don't typically do that, but I usually do it on my favorite day of the week, Thursday. Why? Well, Thursday's my favorite day of the week. I was born on a Thursday, 11:47 a.m. Woo! Breaking news, and I'll make this a quick episode here, but breaking news. The jury has come back with a verdict in the Ahmaud Arbery murder case. It turns out that all three men involved, the McMichaels and Roddie, were convicted of murder, of some form of murder. Some more murder than other, but they were convicted of murder, some in some form or fashion. Now, this comes on the heels of the Kyle Rittenhouse acquittal. Again, now as we've talked about in the last couple of weeks, that these two trials are one and the same, as it's the spirit of why they're on trial. It's the spirit that's on trial. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse, he had footage on his side which showed that he was, in a sense, self-defense. He got acquitted because of that. It did appear like it was self-defense, but the spirit was, he felt like he had the right to go out there and, in a sense, incite something like that. If he never brought his ass to Kenosha with a rifle, being underage, that none of this would have ever happened. But that did teach a lesson. When you're out there protesting and doing things like this, let those type of people that really believe in that type of stuff, the white supremacy and all that, let them be the aggressors. In this case, it appeared that the people that were involved with Kyle Rittenhouse in that situation, they appeared to be the aggressor. That's what got him off. They appeared to be the aggressor, although him being there in the first place was, I feel like, the aggressive act. But that's people, again, feeling like they're entitled to do these things. Now let's go into Ahmaud Arbery. These people in this neighborhood, while he's out doing whatever he wants to do because he's a free American citizen that can do whatever they want to do, they decided that they were entitled to stop someone and ask them questions and detain people and keep them from going on about their merry way, 100% going against the Constitution. Law enforcement can't even do these things that these people were trying to do. You can't detain people. You can't stop them. You for damn sure can't use a truck to impede their process, your progress. You can't do that. But there's some people in this country that feel like they're entitled to do these kind of things. Fair enough. Well, the law did what it was supposed to do. It was proven that they had no business doing any of this, and if they had never chased him down, they should have called the police if they were that concerned. It happens to black people all the time. Y'all stay calling the police on black folk, and I'm not talking about every white person, but just people stay calling the police with shit that has nothing to do with them. But this time they jumped into this situation, inserted themselves into this situation as if that they are the law, as if that there's such a higher class citizen that they could do something like this, and that's not okay. It's just not a thing. I'm sorry. So the law did what it's supposed to do, and I think it was a win for a lot of people. Again, nobody wins in these situations. Like the McMichaels, there's kids involved, there's wives. I'm sure Roddie had his family, like people that care about them, and they wish that they weren't in this situation, but because they felt entitled to do what they did, well, that's the consequence. That's the consequence now. Now, back in the day, 1900s, 1910s, 1920s, 1930s, all this stuff, you could probably get away with that stuff. Well, he didn't have no business being here anyway. Now he spit into that little can, and taking on that outdated mindset and thinking that you don't belong here and thinking you can do whatever you want to do. Well, that's why they're in the situation they're in today. And also, cameras. As a matter of fact, they would have never gotten in trouble had one of the defendants not recorded the situation. That brings me to the next deeper, darker point. This district attorney, Jackie Johnson, decides that we don't need to arrest him. We don't need to arrest him. No, we don't need to do that. And in a sense, covers the whole thing. Oh, it was just a trespasser. They got him and took care of him. Excuse me? So during this time, she's just trying to, in a sense, it feels like it's covered up. But then the video comes out and we like, whoa, hold on. It's just like the Ray Rice situation. I don't mean to throw that brother under the bus. That was a long time ago. But Ray Rice was cool. He was cleared. Then somebody came with that footage. Ooh, it's a lot worse than we thought. When that footage is there and for everybody to see, that changes the conversation a lot. So that being said, Jackie Johnson, she does all this stuff trying to cover it up. She's showing affection because the elder McMichael worked for her law office or whatnot, doing whatever he did for that. So she favoritism, all that stuff. There's no way that, whatever. She gets indicted, and it's for basically preventing officers from doing their duty. So she violation of the oath. So she didn't allow for the officers, like they was like, hey, maybe we ought to arrest these guys, because I mean you can't just run out in the street and shoot people. The dude was unarmed. He didn't have anything going on. You're not allowed to detain them. You're not allowed to stop people. And I don't know if they were going for a citizen's arrest, but like you can't just, if I'm walking down the street, you just can't be like, you know what, I bet he's up to no good. You can't do that. And then say this is a citizen's arrest. I'm gonna wait till the police get here, and it turns out you've done nothing. You just were walking down the street. You can't do that. So with that being said, it's 50-50 when it comes to cases like this. The spirit of why these people thought they could do what they wanted to do. The law did what it was supposed to do for Kyle Rittenhouse, although we know that he should have been convicted of something. He ain't had no business having that gun, period. And the oh so delightful judge went ahead and dropped those charges. Okay, whatever. But he was supposed to get in some trouble for that, to keep him out of what do I want to say here? Just for being a public servant or being in a place where people depend on them. Because again, like I say, he's not going to protect, or I don't think he's going to show the same empathy and care to some people like he would somebody else. So there's that. And secondly, justice, the law did what it's supposed to do. They were able to prove that the McMichaels and Roddie didn't have no business doing what they was doing. So there it is. That's the news. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all know the deal. Catch me on Apple Podcasts. What other podcast? Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and mama, I'm on Spotify. So thanks again for tuning in. It's been another episode of Do You Hear Me? With Uniqo Williams. I holla. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Don't forget, every Thursday, the full podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and mama, I'm on Spotify. Overall 99 ENT bring you videos from Friday all the way to Friday. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Again, thank you so much.